How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
How's life?
Life's good.
Yeah,
Are we on right now?
Yeah,
we're on.
live.
We're live.
Seems like so,
We're
yeah.
live.
Yeah.
We're
going.
There are no
I had no
commercials.
idea,
We
man.
just
You
go.
don't do, no
we
sponsorship
go. No
commercials.
sponsorship. We absolutely
Legit stuff,
go.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just tell people to buy the almanac. That's what we're doing. 1999.
Is that what
buy
we're
the
doing?
almanac.
All right. I don't know about that, but yeah. I mean, listen, being here has been absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Like coming out and having a chance to talk to everybody. And first of all, for you, this is year 5,
Yes.
right? This is year 5
Yep.
for you. Do you feel generally, year 1 and 2 are always kind of getting your feet wet, especially you not
Yep.
coming from the D1 ranks.
Yep.
Do you feel like now you have a better feel of kind of what you need to do and the foundation that you've set?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question, right? Because you're sitting here, I think 9 months in being here, my first year, 9 months in, COVID hits, right?
Right.
And then a year later, then you got the one-time transfer. And I think everybody around the world or in college basketball, wheels are spinning. You're trying to kind of search and find what's our niche.
Yeah.
How does this work? And I think with our administration and our staff and everything here at UND, I think we're starting to kind of get some traction on, hey, this is how we've got to go about it. This is where we fit. And this is how, recruiting's changed a lot. I've seen more junior college basketball than I saw in the last 2 years than I saw in the last 20 years. And that's not a rip on anything. It's just a different, like you've got to prepare in a different way to try to stay old as much as you can.
Yep.
And you still got to bring in young guys,
Mm-hmm.
but you still got to make sure that you're staying somewhat old. And that's the trick nowadays.
Yeah, no doubt. If you're not old, you generally don't have much of a chance right now.
Yep.
And like you said, you might have gotten this job thinking one way, and so much has changed over the last 3 years that it's like you completely have to flip how you've done things and how you thought you were going to do it, taking over this job.
I say it's moved 20 years in 3 years.
It has.
Like it's
No,
changed.
it's crazy.
Everything's been accelerated, and so you're literally, like somebody says, well, what do you see in the next couple of years? It's like it's really hard to know.
Yep.
How are you recruit? Well, you've got to kind of recruit every position anymore. You can't, like you used to be able to look at like I love doing it. Like I'd put up that depth chart a year from now, 2 years from now, and even like 3 years from now.
Good luck now.
And like it's really hard to do that. And so with that being said, it's literally you are, hey, with that being said, right, that's kind of been the line.
Yep.
But with that happening, like you've just got to prepare for anything and everything and just keep working. I've got a great staff that's been out. We've already seen a lot of different junior college stuff this fall, and you kind of want to get that base, and then the portal's going to start happening. And then you got freshman recruiting. It's just we got a great group of guys doing it.
There's no break anymore. There's no break where you knew, right? Final Four would end. You could take a little bit of a breather because you might have had a guy here or there go in the portal, but now it's like you just keep going. Do you feel that way when you start in September?
100%.
It's like where'd the summer go?
Yeah. It's the second season. It's the next season, and it's something that you've got to put your work in to get ready for it. And so when it does happen, no matter what might happen, whatever might fall, you try to be as prepared for it as you can.
All right, so let's talk about the team that you have coming back this season, and then I want to talk about BJ first and foremost.
I want to hear you pronounce T's name first.
Certainly Sartsidze.
That's pretty good.
See?
See, when I say
he probably can't do it.
When I
My
say
guess
it,
is he can't.
Sotny Sarditse.
Sartsidze? I was
But
close.
see, here's the deal with T. I'm going to say it to him, and I'm going to look at him and say, hey, T, did I say it right? No, coach.
No matter what.
So, yeah, and because I don't always love doing nicknames.
Yeah.
But I've kind of succumbed to T. And the funny thing about it, in Georgia, in his language, T's are silent, but yet his nickname's T. So how does that work?
Not well.
How does that work?
Not well at all.
And not only is it T, but it's like 2 T's, and there's more in his name. So it's just funny. And he kind of gives you that big, goofy smile.
That's great.
That's all right,
great.
Coach. You're not the only one that says it wrong. So, yeah.
Well, then talk to me about his game.
Listen,
So you took over this interview. I don't.
Here's the thing.
It's your show now, Paul.
Came from he went to a couple different junior colleges. But the second one was College of Southern Idaho, really good JUCO. Played with really good players, didn't score a lot there. When we brought him in, we wanted to kind of, he was replacing Philip Bracha, right? Pretty good player, and he has, when we watched him on film, and Coach Kading, who's now down working in Sioux Falls, was one of the guys that kind of on film during that COVID recruiting stuff. He was one of the guys that identified him a little bit. And as we watched him, we saw some similarities with what Phillip can do. Stretch it some, good skill. Wasn't the scorer yet. And his first year with us, I think he made 1-3. Was struggling finishing, but had really good moments. But just over the course of that first season was kind of learning to become a guy we can give the ball to score. I thought this last year, I think he made 35 or 36 threes. His percentage is good. He really got comfortable facing the basket, but he got better scoring with his back to the basket. His numbers went up percentage-wise. Got to the free throw line a little bit more, but he was making so many more threes. And that spring, and then this summer with the Georgia national team doing workouts and then trying out for that team, and was close. It's a really good team. I think they made that round of 16 in the Euro Cup or World Cup or whatever that was. And so it's a really good team. He got to play with those guys, and we're seeing another step for him, I think, this fall. And at a 5, he's a tough matchup. And you can play him at a 4 and go a little bit bigger as well because his skill set's developed. So I'm excited about T in his senior year and just what he can do with it.
Yeah, the combination of him and BJ looks like he can compete with any front line.
For sure.
In the Summit League. So BJ was a freshman. He averaged, 12 points?
12 a game.
12 points, 4 boards, shot 30% from 3. Is he one of those guys where you're sitting there, the season ends, you're like, well, we're going to see what happens here? Yeah. I'm sure he's getting overtures from
the way we're in right now. I think we all know what's going on. Mm-hmm. I just think with BJ right now, he's in a position where there's a great opportunity for him to play a lot, to get out and get better and improve. His percentages need to improve, and that's something we talked about. And I think, we're going to move him a lot more to the wing as well. I think that fits him. I think he doesn't have to worry about playing so against really physical players at that 4 spot. So I think his percentages can go up field goal wise. I think his rebounding stats can go up because he's not trying to rebound from the outs, from inside out. He's literally trying to rebound more from that inside in. Mm-hmm. Get him as a little bit more, like we let him as a 4. We gave him a lot of freedom to rebound and go, just grab and go. And he's good at making, like he really got good at buying into the right play. When you draw 2 guys, finding the right guy, he has a skill set as a guard. Like you feel comfortable. Honest to goodness, if we had to play him as a point guard, we could. Wow. So you want to we've got a few guys that have that skill. A guy like Eaglestaff has that same skill where at 6'6", grab and go, and give them some freedom. As I would say to him last year, man, explore a little bit. Let's see where that ceiling is. And this year we want to expand it a little bit, get him at a 3. I think it helps us play longer, bigger, and it helps him not have to battle some of these guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 240 pounds at that 4 when we play teams like that.
You know what, Paul's claim to fame? This is, I've heard this.
Boy. I'm worried
about
this.
Best snow driver in
top
the world.
5.
Top 5 in the world.
I'm not the best.
In the world.
I'm not the best. They just say top 5.
Why? How?
Well,
what makes somebody a great snow driver? What do you do? Because I'm in Boston. I'm driving in the snow a ton.
Man, you haven't driven.
You're not a good driver, period.
Listen,
please don't.
Have you driven through South Dakota or Minnesota or North Dakota at 1 a.m. with 30-mile-an-hour winds with literally you're going through drifts and you're drift busting. It's like you're in a snowmobile. You just boom, boom, and I enjoy it. I kind of do. I do. I love it.
You're
that
nuts.
doesn't mean I'm prepared.
You got issues,
but I do kind of love it. And now I don't love ice. Ice is a different matter. Nobody's really good on ice. But when it comes to just good snow, driving, as long as you got the right vehicle, it's fun.
What's the right vehicle?
Well, something that's got a little higher profile on it, right? Yeah. Something with a little bit of lift. So a trucks can be tough because that light rear end. So I don't mind a little more of an SUV type deal. Yeah. But no, I always would make that joke because when you're recruiting, a lot of coaches in this area would say it. You're doing a lot of goofy times. Like I'm driving places that aren't just easy to get to. Yeah. On a Tuesday, and you got to be back on a Wednesday, so you don't have a lot of choice. Like you got to get back, and so you're
driving through it.
Coach Stevens and I, we were in separate trips I think it was 2 years ago, but we were coming back, and we both got stalled out just north of Fargo because like you couldn't see. Like he turned around and he let me know. Then of course my ego.
You thought you could
my ego driving. I'm like, well, he's an Oregon guy.
Yeah,
it's a little different out there, but. Yeah, I turned around too. I got to the same hotel he did. So, yeah, the snow driving. Yeah, top 5.
I've only had one drive like that. It was on on our college basketball road trip. It was probably 12 or 13 years ago now. We drove the entire length of Nebraska in the middle of January, overnight at like 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 2 in the morning. You talk about wind and snow all over the place. Look, you might be top 5 in the world at doing that, but
You don't want to be doing
that's
wanna
not
make
something I don't want
You don't want to make a
No,
career
hell
out of it.
no.
I don't
You don't want to
try
make
do
a
that,
career
man.
out of it, but it's something I kind of say. Obviously, I say it just jokingly, just to let people, because it's a world we're in, so you got to make light of
Figure
it
it out.
where we're at.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it.
All right, I got one more thing for you, Coach.
I got one more. Let me hit him
Go
with
ahead.
this one because it's kind of newsy. Tyree, 2-time waiver.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything? Obviously, this is something that we've seen guys get denied. NCAA has kind of said, we're going to be tougher on this.
Yeah. Well, and haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
And when we recruited, when Tyree called us back,
Yep.
he reached out to us, and him and I had a real honest conversation about it. And one of the things we told him was, I think it's a good idea for you to stay where you are, because if you're thinking you're going to get one, and that's why you're coming back.
Yeah.
And he's really good. Like I coached him, love coaching him, and didn't want him to go. Right. And for him to want to come back, I think it says a lot about UND, and our program,
sure.
and maybe the guys we have. And I think he enjoyed being there. But circumstances were crazy then, too. It was a COVID year. And you get that year back, and you get people in ears, and all of a sudden you're a 19-year-old kid, and everybody's saying all these great things. And so to have him come back, there's a little bit of a narrative, too, that comes with that as far as, listen, if you're happy, if you're playing well, if you're – like, there's reasons why.
The grass isn't always greener.
I get it.
Right?
There's reasons why, and now there's some financial reasons why.
Yeah.
But, like, you only get to do this once, too. So if you're going to do that, make sure that you're ready to go there and really be an impactful guy.
Yep.
And I'm not talking with Tyree. I'm just talking some of these young guys that are leaving summer league type places. Yeah. Make sure you're going to be impactful wherever you go. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it just for the money, I just think sometimes that can lead to some really disappointing things. And if you're that good a player, you're going to make some money anyhow down the road. So it's interesting times we're in, right? But
no doubt,
we're excited about Tyree, and hopefully we hear something soon.
Yep, that was literally the question that I was going to ask. So
sure, it was. I don't believe him.
You are free. You are free to go.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you guys being here, man. It's a big deal for the Summer League to have you here. We appreciate you being here, man.
It's been great to be here. Man. Great spending time with you.
Great. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, man. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Goodman, we need the chair pulled again.
My chair or
that chair pulled closer to you. I love how the viewers are. No, turn it this.
I'm going to move this way.
I'm going to move closer to you. Dagan Hughes is in my ear right now yelling at me. Turn it sideways.
Like this way?
Turn it so it's straight.
Oh,
other way, you idiot, and pull it closer to you. This is the world. This is the world that I live in.
Don't call me bad.
Everyone here is laughing at him because he's.
Don't call me bad. That's not nice. Usual.
We're waiting on Sotny, Sarsidze.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm just calling him. I'm calling him T.
T.
Silent. Silent T.
I want you to try to pronounce it.
I can't do it.
Sotny.
Sarsidze.
And he'll be on the way over here soon.
Where is
Dakota was
there he comes.
Picked 5th in
he's finishing his lunch.
This year.
That's what he's doing right now.
And BJ Omop, their sophomore.
Yep. Absolutely.
BJ
Whenever
Omop
he's ready.
Picked as a second team preseason all
Summer
League
all
player.
good. Yep. No problem.
So let me ask you this. With the top of the Summit League, like who
I was going to ask you what you want for lunch later. It's on me. Lunch is on me later.
You know what you're going to do? All you're going to do is you're going to just pull out the Field of 60.
Damn right I am. I finally started using it.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad.
I used it last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was big.
So we got Sotny on his way up.
There he
right
comes.
Now. He was just finishing his lunch. What were we having for lunch, Sotny?
How was it?
Salad.
Good? All right. What's going on tonight?
Yeah.
Jeff Goodman. How are you?
Rob Doster. We're live right now, so it's a live mic. Just be aware.
So first thing is, he's going to try to pronounce your name, but you got to be honest. All right. Like if he screws it up, you got to be honest. And then we're going to hear from you.
All right. T.
No, you got to come on.
Sotny Sarsidze.
Close.
C plus.
Go ahead.
C plus.
Go ahead.
I give about a C.
See, it's good, man.
It's Sotne Tsartsidze.
Sartsidze.
All right.
Sotne Sartsidze.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we were just talking to your coach for a little while about kind of your role and how it's going to change this year. Obviously, as a veteran, a guy who's played, started in junior college, came over from Georgia. How comfortable are you now? To whereas, again, maybe a year ago, even coming into the season, you didn't have that same comfort level that you do now.
Yeah, I was getting more comfortable, especially at the end of the season, and I think now it's just easier for me to just go out there and play.
What's going to be the difference we're going to see in your game maybe from last year to this year? What have you been working on in the offseason?
I've been working on a little bit of everything.
Okay. Stretching it a little bit more, shooting it from.
Yeah.
I know. 2 years ago you made 1 3.
Yeah.
Last year you made like 36. So that you got the green light now. Will coach yell at you if you take a 3 now?
No.
He's telling you to shoot it.
Yeah.
Good. That's what you want, right? As a big,
Yeah.
what's better than that,
That's
right?
How many threes are you shooting in the off season? Like, how much are you? What are you getting? 500 up a day? They got you out there on the gun.
600.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are you going to shoot percentage wise? What's our hope this year?
Hard to say,
from
but
3?
I want to be
40?
40 or above. Yeah.
There you go. That would be. I mean, coming from where you were 2 years ago,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
sure.
that's just work, right? Getting in the gym
Yeah, for sure.
as much as anything. What? Take me through how you got here from Georgia. How did you get here? Your first JUCO was which one?
Howard College.
Oh yeah, Howard, and then you went to Southern Idaho. So like, how do you get here from Georgia? Who helped you get here, and what was that like?
So it was first time I came to the States was in high school. Actually, my freshman year in high school. So there was a camp in my hometown. There was like a scout that was selecting kids to send to U.S.
Yep.
So I was one of the kids selected. So he helped me to get connected with the high school in California. So I just went
Modesto?
there.
Is that where you were?
Christian,
Modesto.
Yeah, just a Christian. And from there I went to Howard College. I had some offers in high school, but I got injured like my senior year, so it was hard. It was tough. So I just chose to go Howard. Then I transferred to CSI.
Yeah.
Had a good year there. We won a lot of games. So that's when Coach Hayden started recruiting me, and after that, I just ended up at UND.
What was the experience like for you training with the Georgia national team? Because you were with them over the summer, right? Who were you working out with? What was that experience? What'd you take from that?
It was really good. I got to practice with them for like a week. They had a lot of pros on their team. A lot of guys from a couple guys from ACB, Yearly, and NBA even. So it was definitely a good experience. Learned a lot.
Eye opening a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Who were the guys? You mentioned there were a couple guys from the NBA. Who was it?
It's Goga Bitadze, center for Orlando Magic, and Sandro Mamugelashvili, San Antonio Spurs.
Mamu.
Yeah.
Seton Hall guy, yeah.
Did you ever think you'd be here? I mean, you grew up playing soccer, right? Didn't you? Weren't you a soccer player when you were young?
I didn't actually play.
Or no?
I like to play like outside.
Yeah.
With other kids.
You did.
Do you still watch? Do you still watch football? It's football.
Yeah, it's
Football.
football.
Sorry.
Do you still watch it?
Nah, not anymore. It's hard to catch a game.
Really?
In the States because time difference.
That's
What
all
was
he
your- what was
does
your
is
favorite club?
watch.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It was Barcelona back then.
Okay, that's acceptable. That's a lot. We'll take that.
What's yours?
As long as you didn't say Arsenal, we were good. If you said Arsenal, we might have a problem.
I
We'd
like-
throwing you off this
I
table.
like Messi. That's why I like Barcelona.
Yeah, there you go.
What's it like playing with BJ and just kind of the way you guys were able to kind of play off one another last year?
Yeah, it was fun last year for sure, and he's gotten better this year. And he's the guy that can do a little bit of everything too. He's really good going to the ring, shooting the ball, pulling it out from mid range. So he has that all around game to him. So it's fun.
You feel like you guys are as good as any front court duo in the league?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure. And really skilled duo.
Yeah.
Where have you seen him kind of develop? Coach was on here earlier talking about how he's been moving out on the perimeter a little bit more, trying to play a little bit more at the 3 as opposed to just at the 4. Where have you seen that development in his game?
Just overall, like everything with him. He's more mature, you know, makes great decisions on the court, and just overall really knowing how to play. It's,
What's going to be obviously we know what you and he bring to the table. Who's going to be kind of that guard that has made a big jump from last year? Or maybe a new guy, maybe a new.
I really like what Trayson brings to the table, and also UI King transfer from Iowa State.
Yep.
Yeah, I like playing.
What do they bring? What types of players are they for people that don't know?
Trayson is a really good shooter that can get to the rim. He's a big court guard. He's like 6'6".
Yeah.
So he has length, and he also has really good court vision. So, and I would say same thing with UI King. He can shoot it. He can drive it. He's a really good passer. So it's been fun.
Yep. Well, listen, Sotny, it's been a pleasure. Your journey has been a lot of fun to follow. And
keep working, man.
Yeah,
keep improving.
Working,
keep letting it fly,
let it fly,
man. Right?
Shoot your shot.
That's the coolest part. Is
shot.
like again, you don't not taking a lot.
If coaches are going to pull you when you fire threes, man,
right.
you got to get them up.
That's right.
These shots are not going to shoot themselves.
Isn't it fun? Yeah. Right? Way more fun than 2 years ago when you probably worried about every time you shot it. So, well, listen, thanks. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you too.
Yep. Nice to meet you.
Best of luck this season.